appreciate you for spreading that message. It really is a positive message.
Amazing. That's good, man. I want people to know God loves us in ways that there are no words to express, because you have nothing to compare it to, right? Stay with the silent prayer. You haven't seen anything yet. It gets better. So, here's what I recommend. I invite you to download my silent prayer, and I want you to start doing it. You just download it, get the points of how to do it, and then after a while, you just do it on your own. It's going to point you in the right direction, that your life will be returned to you from God. He will give you your life back, because anyone and all people who has anger, they're not themselves. You are the person that you are angry at. That's why it's so important to get to know yourself, so that you can see who you're angry at. And if you're doing the hooping and hollering prayers and things like that, some people get up, oh, praise the Lord, hoop and holler, bless my mama, bless my daddy. Continue to do it. Do both. You will see if you want to stay with the hooping and hollering, or do you want to be still and know God. So my gift to you, no charge, at rebuildingtheman.com/church. I noticed after a while that when these guys overcome their anger, they have amazing ideas about starting a business, but because they've been told that if you don't get a loan from the bank, or if you don't have a 5-year plan, or if you don't do this, and it's just simply not true. It's the first step. With faith, then all things are possible. So, but the most important thing is to return to the Father. That yearning that you have, that emptiness, that void, is not for more stuff. It's not for more friends. It is a return to the Father, because there's no way you can return to God and be angry at your earthly father. So thank you all so much, right? People around the world donated to Bond at rebuildingtheman.com, or they call 800-411-2663, and we're still committed to pointing the right way for men and women to return to the Father. Steve, thank you for calling and thanks for holding. How have you been helped by the show?
I'm going to tell you this. I believe you might go down in history as one of the greatest, if not the greatest, black man that ever lived on planet Earth, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know anybody before you that's been that great. You know, freeing the slaves is one thing, but you've been freeing people of their mind, which matters, it should be anyhow, to you more than anything else, because with the mind not being right, there ain't nothing else going to happen right anyway.
If you can doubt every thought, because you're not your thoughts, if you can doubt every thought, knowing that you're not your thoughts, you don't create them, they're not from God, that they're from the deceiver, the great deceiver, Satan. If you can doubt every thought, you can be free, just like that. At an instant. Bring every thought into captivity. It's so amazing. Isn't he Mexican?
Colombian.
He calls himself American.
What is this?
Anchor Baby.
And in this corner, it's the American Anchor Baby.
Daddy's home. That's an offensive term. People find that hurtful.
You mean it's not politically correct? Excuse me. I'll use the word anchor baby. You know, he's an anchor baby in Canada.
Tell him we still rolling with Trump, too.
Anchor baby, the whole thing sounds horrific. You're just making it sound like immigrants are these horrific, greedy people.
Ustedes pueden aceptar mi negocio o aceptar las consecuencias. Plata o plomo.
So you would be considered white, in my opinion.
You the blackest one in this room.
I think so.
And what happened was his mama got pregnant on the other side of the border, and then a few hours before, just before it was time for him to pop out, she jumped across the border and let him fall on American soil. So he became the anchor baby. You don't call him the anchor baby for nothing. Amazing.
We like this anchor baby, right?
Hello, I'm the American Anchor Baby, and this is my show. Thanks for tuning in, folks, on this fine Wednesday. What a fine Wednesday it is to be back. I got a bit of a show for you. And what can I say? I see all of you tuning in, okay? We got to get into it. A little bit of this and that. We maybe did Epstein a little. We did Epstein, no? We got a number of things to get into, and I appreciate you all tuning in. I see all of you. I must welcome my people here on rumble.com/American Anchor Baby. Oops. That's rumble.com/American Anchor Baby. Punchy.tv/Anchor Baby. And of course, my people here on YouTube. It's nice to have you here. Appreciate it. And we're going to get rolling here in a sec because we got super chats and all that. And I see your calls. I want to get to all that. Welcoming everybody. And you got the number. You see it on the screen. If you got something on your mind, something you want to say, something you want to talk about, you could call in. That's 888-775-3773. Okay? I do appreciate it. Okay, I see you guys here on YouTube as well. All my people here on YouTube. I appreciate the decorum. Okay, it's a great like ratio. Maybe it's the berating. Maybe you really mean it. Either way, it doesn't matter. For an ordered society, as long as you just do it. I don't know. Even if you don't feel it, like, oh, I really want to have decorum. Just click the like button. Don't be rude. It's the least we could do for an ordered society. Okay, thanks for the decorum. Like, subscribe, do all that. Leave a comment. And what else can I say? Welcome. How you doing, Cameron? Thank you, Francisco. Absolutely. For those that are loving it. The shirt, JesseLeePeterson.shop. You know what? No, sir, please. Please, no. Let me show them the merch while you walk out. You do not have to crawl and debase yourself. Those people trying to exoint. Is that even a word? What am I trying to say there? What am I trying to be fancy with there? Exoint? What am I saying? Exeunt.
Exeunt.
Exeunt? That's how you say that?
Exeunt.
Used as stage direction. Someone's trying to exeunt. That's how you say that, folks. I don't have any happenstance. And so we help them by just showing the merch. Look, JesseLeePeterson.shop. No such thing as racism. You don't know this yet? Whatever, Nit, you Epstein apologist. What's up, Kevin? Welcome. Whatever, you Epstein. Thank you for letting me segue here. Epstein, we definitely talking Epstein the past few days. I mean, a whole bunch of people were, right? And okay, it swept me up maybe a little. I'm like, wait, you guys are acting crazy. You guys are seeing things that are not there, things that are provably false. You're making all sorts of claims that your thinking is wrong, and I've been fascinated. I'm fascinated by that. It's showing how corrupt thinking is so bad. Okay, it's everywhere, and it matters because, well, I mean, it doesn't matter to me. I'm not personal, but if you're trying to talk about the truth, it kind of matters. Okay, what you believe and all that. And so we were talking about it a bit at length. We kind of spoke about the files at length and my thoughts about it, and over the past few days, with callers and stuff at length about the insane conclusions, the stuff that's real and not, the stuff that's mere random anonymous tips. And I've tried. I'm like, no, the world is crazy, but my viewers, even if you're disagree, you don't like Trump or something, you were watching my program and you must know. You must be right. You're coming on the other side a little informed. That's an anonymous tip. Someone obviously made that up versus an email that's attributed to Epstein. That's not contested. But still, the mind is nope. They're calling me. They're like, Nick, I don't know. I'm like, it's multiple anonymous, uncorroborated, that nobody believes tips about Trump was doing this. And I'm like showing that, and they're like, no, Nick, but like, how many times does it say that, bro? Where there's smoke, there's fire. I mean, so it just doesn't make people just want to believe what they want to believe. And so we talked at length about that, about Goyim, and he's using these words and stuff. And so basically, I mean, to summarize, let's move on because we did Epstein already. But to summarize, I mean, Epstein appeared to have, this is what the people were like mostly bothered by, besides there's the crowd that's like just lost in La La Land about stuff that's not real, which is right, the anonymous tips, the random stuff, the AI photos, the diary entries that are not real. Epstein appeared to have a corrupt, what I have to summarize is a Jewish attitude towards Gentiles, right? He was using these words like Goyim and all that, and which is something of a stereotype of Jews, right? Something that I never even thought about before. It's become a topic, Jews, right? And they say these things about them that they have this stereotype that they see Gentiles, Goyim, a certain way. And so that's like the meme, I guess, on that, which is, well, here it is. What happened, Jews? I thought this was just a mere stereotype. What's going on? And the reason that there's the reason where I guess you could have an alignment on why that's wrong is because of is what I was telling you yesterday. That's what I was. This is a shortened version of that, to be clear. But that's what I was saying yesterday is I have a different maybe core reasoning for it. For others, it's like Jewishness, but I call it you've been listening to Jesse, the network, calling it out in blacks, for example. You just heard on the Hake Report. I don't know. We were just listening, and you have people who are on the surface. It's like, okay, I love America, but then they vote Obama, and it's like, well, it seems like everything you're about is against America, and you're really about your blackness. Like you just like have this tribal mentality, and so it's a similar corrupt thinking. That's what I was saying yesterday. It's this corrupt thinking, and then like the second side, the other side of what I was sort of saying is also like to those Gentiles, to the rest of to the Goyim that are going nuts over these emails. Like, wow, it's Jews see us like this. What? Stop being such a fresh person, a goy that just realize how the world is. You know what I'm saying? Like you got like red pilled on race recently too in those past few years, and you've gotten pretty racial too. So you start seeing other people acting like that, and you lose your mind. Y'all racial too, and Epstein is not every Jew. So that's what I was saying yesterday, and what else about this? That was it. That was the whole thing. So call me an apologist. Shout out to you, chat. How you doing? Welcome. The tribalism. I mean, that's just one word that keeps coming to my mind. Maybe there's some deeper thinking. It's like just an ism, right? But I'm thinking about the world I grew up in versus what's happening now with people. Summarizing my thoughts on yesterday and all that Epstein, this tribalism comes up. He was talking with his. You see in these exchanges in his emails, and I believe it's his corrupt thinking. That's how all corrupt people think. And how corrupt was it too? I was showing Epstein love when nobody wants to. I went through some of those examples. He didn't even really say he hated Goyim. Oh, he's Epstein apologist. I'm going to show him love when nobody else wants to, right? Like, wait, what did he actually say, right? And then they're pointing to this one thing, this one Epstein file that's on the government website. That if you just quickly read, it said, and Gentiles need to be like destroyed or something like that. But, you click into it, and it's like, oh, it seems like someone saved, it looks like someone saved an article about some rabbi that had said that. But this article was denouncing this rabbi and saying this like Jewish supremacist mentality is terrible. And it was like a Jewish writer in some bigger publication. And so that's like the most nasty thing about going, I'm in the Epstein files, but it wasn't even something Epstein said. So call me an apologist, call me. But okay, so back to what I was saying, tribalism, right? Ostensibly, I mean, there he is. He's having exchanges. He sees himself as Jewish and them as other. And I'm thinking about the world I grew up in, going to school. I mean, they taught us to be anti-racist and all that. I never called it that. I never called it anti-racist. It just made sense, you know, because, and I think the reason this racism thing worked on us and people is because it's like a corrupt version of love. But somewhere, you know, there was some sort of motive of love. And it kind of made sense to you, right? Yeah, we should treat people equally. That's like in the Bible, right? Now, their version of equality is not what we assumed, I guess, growing up, you know, in the playground. Like, okay, I'm not going to treat you just because a wrong way, just for arbitrary reasons. Like, we govern ourselves and not some, you know what I'm saying? Well, not some like ism here. And so something about that made sense, of course. I think that's why it worked. I never thought that this equality would be like this weapon, right? Used against white people. And this attack on whites that we've expressed over the years, it's so in your face now that do you even need me to say it? And I think about like group mentality, right? You know, we grew up like this. Sure, they tried to teach us about anti-racism. I mean, it was a lie, but we agreed because we kind of know something about that, about treating people like you want to be treated, etc. made sense. But now, and so to see this lack of tribalism go, I don't lament it. I'm just speaking out loud about it. I mean, it seems like whites have to be a group, you know what I mean? Like everybody else is being. It seems like they have to say, hey, they're attacking us, they're attacking Christians, they're attacking, you know what I mean? And I'm not, it seems like it would be important. It seems like there's a time coming, or the time is now for someone like Trump to get up and say, hey, also, by the way, you know, white people, they're being attacked, et cetera, you know. It seems like all these other world leaders, well, I don't know, I'm saying all these other world leaders, but I'm only thinking of one, Bibi Netanyahu. He seems to be a real bulldog for his Jewish people. I mean, I bet you there are others, but it's just the one I'm thinking of. Does Putin, right? Putin, Xi Jinping for the Chinese. But where was I? It seems like there's a time and place for that. So just thinking out loud about it, all this tribalism, it's a changing world, so to speak, or was it always like that? Was it always like that? The world is the world. I was expressing this the other day with the when Maduro when they took Maduro from Venezuela, and what many were calling this, they were calling it. They were like, that's not Maduro, but it was a lot of talk during this time, but I forget what they were saying was like the date. They were calling it the end of the old world order, of a rules-based order, as opposed to, you know, just realistic self-interest of every nation, and or blocks, coalitions, right? As opposed to no, it's not all about what we need, but what everybody needs. Call it a tribalism, call it global realism, they're saying. And it's just interesting. I don't know if it's that deep, like we're in this changing world, but it just seems like as what I described domestically is happening like internationally. They're saying that's what it is. They're saying it's like a return to realism and tribalism and resources. And it seems like, by the way, on that, just random news I'm remembering, Trump wants to create a stockpile, a domestic stockpile of mineral resources. We have like a domestic stockpile of oil, for example. It's like a defensive thing. You say it's for national security. We can't have shortages. Oil shortages cause issues for us. Trump's like, same thing for minerals. Our businesses, it's more of like a private thing too. He's like, no, we're going to make our own stockpile. And already the world's like, hey, but wait, whoa, you're going to create problems with the status quo. What happened to globalism? We supply the minerals. You can't have your minerals. It's a return to global realism. It's a tribalism. So it's every day Trump's doing something for us, it seems. And so, yeah, those are just my random thoughts about the world as it is. I mean, I don't know. Tribalism, I don't know if it's like a bad thing. Here's what I mean by that. About the white people deciding to, white people grouping to say, hey, we should defend ourselves. I think what is bad is, there's a lot of corrupt thinking there, too. It's just what I've seen. Angry people, young people, way ahead of themselves kind of thing. But, I mean, what America was at one point filled with, I imagine, what we'd call far more racist men. They were fine. Better? No? Maybe. I don't know. Now I'm just rambling, but okay. The world, tribalism. The tribalism of the world. It's funny. In the multicultural society, everybody still, separates, and you have your enclaves, and they blend a little at the edges. It's just a matter of geography, I think. Or what's it called? Less geography, but city planning or whatever. Whatever ography is that is. They still just separate and do the thing. There was a funny thing I was looking at that is going viral. Just, inventive people using the tools of today. Tech. Well, I think I don't know if this is, I don't know what kind of innovative person this is. They call themselves an 18th century chud. They have an anime profile picture. So I really don't know. Retard mode. That's not that's not a mean. That's a good thing. You just don't understand the Zoomers. Okay, I think that means he's being a Christian. I think this means he's retard mode for Christ, right? There's the cross, 18th century chud, which I believe is not a Chad. Okay, I believe that's the opposite of a Chad. And before you get offended, I believe what he's saying is he's going retard mode for Christ. So calm down. This inventive individual has created something here. And I want to present it to you. Let me see. How did I came into this first. Is it funnier if I just show you? Basically, it's a map, okay? It's a map, but it's not just any map. They're calling it peaceandquiet.io. Welcome to Peace and Quiet. This map scores neighborhoods based on various socioeconomic factors. I need a sound effect and a zoom into my face right now. Socioeconomic factors. I came to this because it was this post, I think. There's another person. He's on YouTube. His name is Asmongold, and he's responding to that person reacted to this person's tool. Since Asmongold laughed so hard at our Hellcat filter, I've reworked the entire system, introducing the Hoopty Index. All Dodge Chargers and Challengers, Nissan Altimas and Maximas. Okay, so that's black people, right? That's Mexicans. Infiniti G35, G37s. Okay, this is beyond my car knowledge purview. Car culture knowledge purview. Chrysler 300s. Okay. With this tool, with this simple, easy tool, we now have active listings across 147 cities. With this simple tool, you'll be able to find peace and quiet various socioeconomic factors. The PQ index shows neighborhood scores from green 100 to peaceful to 0. Purple, avoid. Okay? Shall we start exploring? Hellcats. Nick, does the back of your shirt say racism is true? No, it does not. It will never say that. Because there's no such thing as racism. You seeing this? Okay, so you need you're trying to find somewhere to live in America, maybe. Wait, how do I use this map? Hold on. So I'm not seeing any. Let me zoom in. Let me zoom in. Do we see? Oh, check it out. I think this is how it works. Los Angeles. Okay. As you can see, the hexagons or whatever, these areas seem to be graded. Well, we got some purple. It's a little hard to see exactly where. Okay, see, that's better. Beverly Hills. Okay, so this makes kind of sense, I think. And it can change pretty fast from like area to area. Oh, no. See, I've been telling you. Look, we got a yellow around the area around Bond. Just around Bond. You go up here, it's like Beverly Hills. Hake takes, I mean, did he say, am I doxing too much info? Right? He has the video of him walking up to the park. It gets green again over here. It gets peaceful. What's going on over here? It can change pretty fast, too, area to area. I want to see the Hellcat index and all that. How do you see the cars? What kind of cars they have? So downtown, you know, you get this purple here. It's insane. And I was thinking about this map a little bit. I was thinking about the creation of this thing, the PQ index. I'm trying to give you a better insight into maybe some of these areas. But yeah, I mean, I think this fits. Koreatown, it can get a little grimy because you got Beverly Hills, Hollywood, and it feels like there's this encroaching mess from over here as it goes this way to the west. It's like Mexicans, and I see a lot of just street vendor type Mexicans, like Guatemalans or whatever, just got off the boat type thing. Koreatown, now there's this story on the JLP show. It's like Larchmont area, right? Larchmont's like a nice area, and they have like prostitution at night. That's because Western. It's just this street. It's just the street, Western Ave. Where is it? And it feels like it's like an encroaching. I think it's this one. This whole street, up and down. Look, it gets purple where the prostitution is. Either that's Western Ave or. It's not that important, but look, there's this encroaching mess, right? Now they're having to make like these tools to get around. No, the studio's not in the purple. We're set. We're good. We're okay. They're making these tools to get around what, though? To get around what mess? What mess? Let me pull this up. I was thinking about, for example, a friend. And she has this like long commute. She has this like crazy long commute. She's telling me about, oh, I do this editing stuff or I do this and that. Like all this work. She's doing all this work on my way home. I'm like, wait a second, explain. What do you mean on your way home? She's like, yeah, on my drive home. How are you doing all this? I will dox for the dangerous. It's such a dangerous thing to do, right? But that's how slow they're driving, like bumper to bumper, like hours on the highway. It's like hours. It's like, why are they? What? I was thinking about it. I'm like, wait, it hit me. Like, you have to make this drive. You have to like do all this stuff. And I'm kind of remembering stuff I heard too. But you got to do all this stuff, right? It's like the American dream, or what am I trying to say there? The current situation of the middle class, maybe even more, is like this forever running away from this encroaching plague, the gray goo. It's like the lines keep getting redrawn. I was just looking for some place in a nice area. I was looking at a place to live in. And they were like, yeah, no, it's nice. It was really nice. And they're like, the street that was just like down a ways, they're like, and just everything south of that street, though, you'll see the difference. It's just instant. I wonder if that'll always stay that way. Does the line just keep encroaching? There's no opposite word for gentrification, is there? But anyways, what are the black parts? The black parts on the map. I mean, it's not that. What's the word? On the nose. It's not. It's not that explicit. Okay. Filters. I think this is what I'm looking for. Filters. Okay. Bail. Okay. These are the filters. Bail bonds, public housing, Section 8, methadone clinics, payday loans, and beauty supplies. Boost mobiles, Popeyes and churches, Popeyes chickens, waffle houses and liquor stores, pawn shops, hoopty listings, which is all those cars. What's LIHTC? What is that? Low-income housing tax credit and violent crime. These are the different filters. Okay, I meant on how this index works, I think. Amazing. So, anyways, ghettoification, says Him Diddy. Maybe that's the word. Maybe the word already exists. But anyways, what look, whatever. Moving on. Like you get the point, right? It's like out of a fear of ism, because I think even the thing is, yeah, the on the nose thing is okay. Section 8 housing, all those filters are like a black thing or a minority thing or a Mexican thing or an immigrant thing. And so fine, I get that. A charge against those people in a sense, like, hey, look at yourselves. Like, what's up with all the hate, blame, and victim? You guys got your own problems. It's also that they're a fear of this ism, a fear of just speaking plainly. For example, a fear of this ism doesn't allow for cops to just do plain cop things. Just patrolling around, right? Getting suspicious people in suspicious areas, checking things out, you know? They can't do any of that. It's all been a slow removal of all those things. They called it stop and frisk. They called it, I think they called it broken windows policing when it was like a good thing, but they stopped all that because it's a fear of a racism. Imagine, it wouldn't, the encroachment and all, it wouldn't even be such a problem. Would there even be such a racial issue if all that was kind of handled correctly and let those that want to cry about it, cry about it? But anyways, how nice of a neighborhood. The peace and quiet index. People are looking for peace and quiet. You need AI. You need to employ AI tools now. You need to employ AI tools, drive 2 hours, get the gas, get taxed for every mile driven, which, by the way, we need to do that to keep paying for the Section 8, keep paying for all the living wrong. Don't you get it? It's your historic sin. Pay up. So it is, it remains a spiritual battle. Fear and ideas, thoughts, principalities govern people. Amazing. What do y'all think about that? Yeah, don't miss it. Punchy TV later. 2 p.m. Pacific, punchy.tv/punchytv. And Punchy TV on YouTube. Okay. Don't miss it. Incredible. Thank you for the support. We'll get to everybody. Yes, very nice. I see the activity in the chat. I see your coffees. Buymeacoffee.com/anchor baby. Thank you. Thank you. Alrighty. So where are we right now? What's going on? 888-775-3773. 37% of illegals have a criminal conviction since coming to the U.S. Something going around right now, but maybe after a bit you just stop caring about the stats. I'm not, if you ask me, I don't have like a personal thing, right? I'm like personally so affected by illegals and all that. It's just wrong. What am I getting at here? Look, let's just do this though. Look, there's this thing going around about illegals and the criminality. And I'm thinking like there's like a pervasive thing on like, well, they're really less criminal than the native population and all that. I mean, you guys calling into my show to tell me that. So, yeah, some of you calling in. I think some of you are calling in saying this, and I think you guys are conservative, I think, some of you. And you're telling me, no, man, Nick, they're not. They're less criminal than the native population. Very liberal Americans believe 11% deported illegal immigrants have had a criminal conviction since coming to the country. The correct answer is 37%. Conservative Americans were the most accurate of all groups. The very conservative overestimated the prevalence of convictions. This data comes from the Immigration Attitudes and Accuracy Study. That's recently, 2026. And that's a lot. 37%. Like, I was trying to compare that. Where was that? I was trying to compare that to the native population. And I'm like, does it even matter? If more than a third of a bunch of people coming in, so 1 million people come in, like 300,000 plus have had a criminal conviction, that's like a reason to stop that right away. That's a lot of people, 37%. But anyways, the fact checkers say that that only pertains to those arrested by ICE, not the broader immigrant population. But man, that's a lot. That's a lot of people. And I'm of the just being here like that is a crime. It's just, no room. Sorry. I got no room on it. And why would you? If you wanted to have like a halfway conversation about immigration and the people that should be here, why is that your hard line? No, you can't deport illegals. Why is that your hard line? It's because you really want them here. You really have no limits. And it's like, then why is that? And how can you say you support the country you're in? What a mess, right? Like, why is that a hard line? Like, if you wanted to have a conversation like they should be here, they're good workers, they're blah, 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 they had a history. Why then convince them all to have this hard line? This hard line is like not a negotiation. It's like a hostage situation, so you want war. If you wanted to just be a good, it wouldn't even be such an issue. Like, now we got to talk about deportations if you guys were like better guests. Right? With a better attitude, like, hey, not assuming racism when they want to close it up. yeah, you know what? It is a mess that it's that America, Canada, you know, all these places are going to become minority white. And if you laugh and you're like, hey, white people, come on, make some babies, but you like revel in it, like you losers are getting replaced, then you know what I'm saying? Like, what is that? If it wasn't for all those attitudes, it wouldn't be such an issue. I'm gonna be on the boat. I'm gonna be on the trains with you guys out of here. And I'm gonna be like, told you guys, we had a great thing with America. You guys had to be such. Just look a gift horse in the mouth. Isn't that the expression? I'm an anchor baby. Don't get mad at me. I'm gonna be on the trains out of here and I'll be like, you see what you guys did? It's a mess. Where's the good attitude? Because look, this we've been doing Epstein, but we did talk about over the weekend. It seemed like a couple of cities got down with them ICE riots now. You know, getting what's it called? Like getting pretty nasty with law enforcement, pretty destructive. I keep invoking George Floyd, and it's like, is it reaching those levels or not? I'm not. I feel like I'm goading the devil. But anyways, let me not believe that thought. How about that? But yeah, maybe not so much, but it was multiple cities. I don't know. That George Floyd, it's like they started doing it on the weekends, and it was ramping up. But that was insane. There was like cars on fire, looting. Every store is like getting looted as the cops are just sectioning off and watching it. Clearly told to stand down, because the moment someone set an order, I filmed all this, they came in with the big trucks, water cannons, like boom, done in an instant. So they were going off a bit, and it's crazy because like all these people are. Look at who's like supporting them. You've seen all these celebrities. They're donating like 6-figure amounts. They're dumb. They're dumb women too. They're like dumb young women, Billie Eilish, and then people following her. They're following this dumb young girl who got money through the music industry. She's like made some songs. She's stupid, like liberal, like young, and it's like I'm doing this because I care. I'm doing this because I care and I love. Like, you're so out of your depth. You're so don't understand anything. That's not how you make decisions, and you don't even care. You're lying to yourself. But so that's the woman thing, right? Woke is woman. And so they're following her. They're getting like hundreds of thousands of dollars to like bail funds in Minnesota and stuff like that. They're getting supported by Minecraft. Now you're a kid. Now you're just trying to play Minecraft. You're maybe Zoomer, maybe younger. What are they? Gen Alpha now? Are they playing video games? You're like, hey, Minecraft's pretty dope. That's what I do. I build things in Minecraft. Oh, what's this new Minecraft update in the free Good Trouble DLC? You know, it's a downloadable content. Check it out. It's free from Minecraft. It's called Good Trouble. Explore global civil rights movements and meet change makers and learn how to. You basically download the new update and go around rioting with civil rights leaders. Look at this is Minecraft. This is Minecraft John Lewis. Malala is this which one's that one? Malala, you Pakistani education activist. She's like, I'm taking off the hijab, right? Is that her? It's like women should be educated. Rosa Parks, look at Minecraft Rosa Parks in the bus. I'm tired. I was yucking it up with Jesse because when we played this Rosa Parks video on the Jesse Lee Peterson show, and the moment the guy said she sat down because her feet were tired, Jesse and I both laughed. I don't know why. I laughed because I was thinking of him pretending to be Rosa Parks and saying, my feet are just so tired. So they're propagandizing you in Minecraft. There's our ascendant female elite. Our ascendant female elite as our men descend and decline are out there girl bossing it up about ICE and all that, right? It's significant, alongside these riots that I'm kind of mentioning, because there's this talk with Tom Homan and all that. They're removing 700 ICE agents. Of course, they're backing down. They're backing down. I want to see, me like. I think you got to do the right thing, even if people disagree. But I have the room to say, I don't know if that's this case. I voted for the guy. I support him. So strategize how you must. I personally know. I personally think it's like, you gotta. People aren't gonna like this. You're gonna deport people. They're not gonna want to go. It's gonna be tough. But maybe you gotta strategize here, because look at how the people are. Maybe they gotta, look at how the people are. They don't really have support. It should be like huge, huge force, or else you're gonna have more Renee Goods, Alex Pratty mess. We don't want that. We don't want such a thing. But there needs to be a serious response, not a backing down. Now, I'm not gonna call it total indefinite. The fat lady hasn't sung, whatever. But look, it's not a good scene. I don't know what this guy's trying to do. He's got less than lethal. Apparently a cardboard box. Okay. And this person has like what looks like a gas mask. These Antifa people, like they know how to protect themselves from gas and like pepper sprays and stuff like that. Apparently a cardboard box has defeated this guy. This guy's doing an Aztec murder, Aztec murdering white people dance. He didn't even, it's just coming out him. Okay. Let's sacrifice. Some Aztec dance is coming out of this guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they overwhelmed them, and that was Los Angeles. They don't care. Like in George Floyd, they support these things. You have the corruption is so deep, and against Trump and against the whole idea of just having order here. They love this chaos. They love the immigration, the mess. It's all the environment in which they're thriving, and so can't change it. But what a mess, right? I do want to get to calls here. Those are the weekend riots, the 700 ICE that they're removing from Minneapolis and all that, because look, it's this crazy response, I have to say, and they're propagandizing it up. Look, all the way, it's in the culture, in the video games, all this money going around, and that guy who created Minecraft, I don't know if he still runs all that stuff, but that guy's like a total liberal. But anyways, all these people, these people, our elites, if I may, are very diverse. Okay, they're in the tech world, they're gaming, they're doing this, they're doing that. And we seem to have like a very multifactional elite, whatever now. I want to get to calls. Part of this related to the government shutdown. It is part of the news. There was a partial government shutdown. If you missed it, if you weren't, if it didn't matter, right? Began January 31st, and it lasted 4 days. They signed a bill, okay, and now they're going to provide the funding for nearly all the agencies except for Department of Homeland Security. And the significance of this is, well, it's just like it's a card showing moment in a sense in my mind. It's like, well, what is the motivation of the Democrats? It's like, well, okay, they want to unmask ICE agents. They want body cams. They have all this stuff against ICE. And they're like, that's our hard line. We're not budging. Don't fund them more. Because they got all this funding in the big, beautiful bill. So ICE has got this money. They got the mandate, the vote. They got Trump. They got the majority. And it's like, after all this, what are Democrats digging their heels in about? Unmask ICE agents. It's like all this ICE stuff. They don't want deportations. Their hard line is no rules on immigration. It's insane. So you don't want to have a conversation about it. They're digging in their heels, and it looks like they're kicking it down. I think that's what I'm understanding here. This bill is like, okay, how about we fund everything and let's talk about DHS, which is ICE. We'll talk about that in a bit here, right? The core dispute centered on the Department of Homeland Security, which oversees immigration and customs enforcement and Customs Border Protection. Democrats in the Senate refused to support the funding package without reforms to ICE and CBP operations following the fatal shootings of 2 U.S. citizens. These incidents occurred amid Trump's aggressive deployment, To resolve the impasse, the final deal included only a short-term continuing resolution for DHS, funding it at current levels through February 13th. Creates a new funding cliff in about 9 days, during which bipartisan negotiations are underway to address Democrats' key demands. That's as it stands, okay? But what a mess. I want to get to Art out of Ohio. Thanks for your calls. 888-775-3773. Appreciate your call, Art. How you doing, sir? You're on the air.
Nick, man, how you want me to bring this plane in? You want me to bring it in fast, or you want me to bring it in slow? I can Cadillac it now. Just tell me how you want me to do it.
If you have the airspace, bring it in easy.
Bring it in easy. Bring it. Okay, I got you. I mean, I learned from you. I ain't gonna lie, man. You a good pilot. I gotta give it to you. So I think I can.
Thank you,
Go
sir.
ahead. Yes, sir. I think I can handle that. So what don't make sense to me is you have to graduate and get a certain amount of credits to graduate high school in public schools. And I'm pretty sure I'm gonna speak about what I know about public schools. You gotta get enough credits. You gotta, take classes to get these credits or whatnot. Wasn't Spanish a Spanish credit class that you had to? I think that's a class we had to take so we could pass high school in public schools. Mandatory.
Not me.
Like it was mandatory in Columbus Public.
It was French in Canada, but I got you.
Yeah, you had, and it went. No, it wasn't.
And it wasn't because of like immigration and like anti-racism, which I'm kind of assuming that's the reason here in America.
You say that again.
In Canada, sorry to derail you here, sir, but like we had to do French in Canada, but in Canada, they have a deep history. French, it started off as a bilingual country. It's like the law to have advertisements in both languages. But here in America, why is the Spanish mandatory? And then you can continue with what you were saying.
I have no idea, but I'm thinking why French was probably mandatory in Canada like that is because I think when America had with the revolution there, I think we got the French, was it the French up out of here? And that's where a lot of them went to. It was, I don't think France was with us.
I don't know about exactly that, but it is because of a large French population. That is the truth. It's a bunch of French in Canada and a bunch of Anglos, and it's been like that from the beginning.
Yeah, I think I might be wrong. I think French was still tight with us back. I think it was the British. It was something. I had to look it up again. Long story short, I'm just trying to figure out if we had to take all these Spanish classes or whatnot. And in the chat, tell me, was it mandatory for you when y'all graduated high school? Did y'all had to take Spanish class in America? In y'all wherever y'all at or whatnot in the States, in the chat, where the people in the chat is from? Did y'all have to take Spanish class to graduate? So going on, I'm just trying to figure out. I mean, I get it. You gonna hire ICE agents to be a lot of Latinos, but I'm pretty sure it's a lot of Americans that speak French, not French, but Spanish too. I'm pretty sure Columbus, Ohio ain't the only American state that we had to take a foreign language only besides English to pass high school, to get your credits to pass high school. And I'm just saying that to say that just don't make no sense to me, man. I'm just seeing propaganda that was set up to be like that. Now they turning back around, and American taxpayers having to fund something that we shouldn't be having to fund because we pay tax money in these public schools to get taught this. and we still having to hire people that ain't even American, Native American, to do a lot of this ICE work. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying we spent tax money for the schools for allegedly this reason. I mean, it wasn't probably even this reason. It's just a reason that we needed to speak French. Why are we not using this right now? Why are we seeming to hire foreigners, not native to America, to do these ICE jobs? You see, and that's just a little point. And that ain't something that that ain't the black people's fault. You see what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You can't blame that on the Negroes. You see what I'm saying? So, bam.
I think that's fair.
So let me go ahead and go. And I'm just saying that to show that little breakdown or whatnot. This stuff that just don't make sense. My second thing is, I was listening to it was a while ago. I was listening to somebody on YouTube or whatnot, and bam, they was from Chicago, and I think they part of that little MAGA that new MAGA party that's in Chicago with all them black females and stuff or whatnot. They was on one of the people's shows, and they made a comment that said, like, if you was a Republican in that Chicago area and you was like in the black area or in any, she said in the black area, and I don't even know if she said it was in the black area or whatnot. I just know she was black. So she said that if you was to try to vote for Republican, they wouldn't come get your trash. You see what I'm saying? So I can speculate that they do that on jobs and a lot of these other things. Businesses, if you're going to get food, they will try to bully you into making sure you know, hey, you should stay in the Democratic Party, not by choice but by force. You see what I'm saying? So they forcing people. Yeah, they forcing people to vote a certain way, or you don't get your trash. And we know Artie Art, baby from Columbus, Ohio, born in Virginia. We know Artie Art, baby, the whatnot king around Columbus. You see what I'm saying? We know he ain't crazy for the simple fact that if you follow the social media or whatnot, you know, I'm going on 40, 39, you know, and we still in that, you in that technology boom with me, brother Nick. You see what I'm saying? You in it, so we gonna see a lot more. So if you a little older than me, it's more of a chance that you gonna miss this. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Cause it's the technology. It's a technology gap. You see what I'm saying? So bam, go to say that. Look on the internet. You seen where they saying one of the people that work in the hospital, this nurse, saying that he ain't trying to. He was trying to harm the ICE agents if they come in to get medical care.
I was going to bring that up about like doctor people. Medics,
so
in the medical world saying stuff like that.
Yeah. So I mean, if you set the system up for people to take advantage of it, and they seeing that they bullied in the court, of course they gonna keep going that way. If it's convenient for them, everybody ain't a fighter and aggressive like Artie Art. You see what I'm saying?
Terrible.
Everybody ain't got a heart to speak like how me and you speak, and be brave enough like you to get up on YouTube to show your face. Hey, you see what I'm saying? Showing your face. And you see what I'm saying?
My government name.
Yeah. Artie Art gonna catch you later. I'll catch you later, brother.
Yeah, Art, thank you, man. Call me again.
Yep.
888-775-3773. Thank you for that. With my government name. People shouldn't blame others for their problems, but you're especially wrong if you're white in America and you blame black people for your problems. True say. People call things racism and blame, though, that are not that. You know, you say like, okay, well, I got to commute 2 hours and look on the peace and quiet index to find somewhere decent to live or pay crazy rent or something, because we've basically given the cities unto the criminal element. And the criminal and because the criminal element is insulated from criticism, for it would be racist, then we Americans now have to live like, now you have modern America. But that's true. Whoever said that. Right on. Somebody says something else interesting. Wait, hold on. Thanks for being in the chat. Say hello. Leave a comment. Don't be rude. You could just leave a like. You don't have to comment. You don't have to speak in the chat. It's the void. And in the void are all things. Chaos, the truth, and everything in between. So don't get sucked in. As I'm getting sucked in right now. No, I don't find it. Forget it. Okay. Yes, yeah, in Canada so you guys had to do Spanish, and I did do that, actually. I did go to school in America for some time. And I definitely did Spanish in school. But why is that? Is that across America? Do all Americans have to do Spanish in school? Because in Canada, it makes sense. Like, well, I don't know if people argue about it over there, but it's not like you had a huge immigration demographic change, and it's like now we're learning Spanish in schools. It's like the law from the beginning, or at least from a long time ago. You have to have advertisements in both languages. Canada is a bilingual country, so to speak. It is like officially a bilingual. It's French and English. And so you learn French in school if you're in Ontario. If you're on the English-speaking side, you do French growing up. And if I think you do English, I don't know what you do in Montreal. Any Quebecers in the chat? What do y'all do over there? Do you guys do English classes? Because I've met some French Canadians that do not speak English, and sometimes they're just playing. Like, I just don't want to speak to you. I don't want to speak English to you. What are you? N'a pas entendu? I'm sorry, I don't understand. N'a pas entendu? Huh? And like, you understand. But any people from Montreal? Do you guys know? What do you guys do in school? Do you guys do English? That sounds silly to me. It's like, why would you do English in class? Like, everybody knows English. Maybe that's very Anglo-centric of me. Spanish in school in America is a choice. Is that true? Am I tripping? It's mandatory in Canada. No, not all Americans have to take Spanish in school. There's no nationwide requirement in the United States for students to learn Spanish. The U.S. has no federal mandate for a foreign language education. Only about 11 states require some form of foreign language study to graduate high school. See, maybe that makes more sense because where I went to school was in Miami, Florida. So if there's a state that's gonna like start adding in that stuff, it's maybe Florida. It's maybe California. In high school, that is. Learning any language, including Spanish and Latin, is a choice in America. So it's a state thing. There's some states that require it. We have to take a foreign language. It can be French or Spanish or other. Some people have to do that in California, I believe. Spanish in schools in America is a choice. It depends on the state. Call that an encroachment. Today it's 11 states. Tomorrow it's... Is America a monolingual country? America is right? Because that's like that's something that's not and I bet you that's debated today, but growing up that wasn't a what's it called? Controversial in Canada. It was like official. I would see it on TV. I'd say officials, I'd see politicians say it. We are a bilingual country. That's what we are, English and French. Now, in practice, it's you got all sorts of communist liberals. But they had no problem saying that. Is America an English country? Made sense for me to take Spanish since half my friends spoke Spanish. True say. Yeah, Nit, we have a little thing called freedom here in America. We didn't have to take Spanish. It's kind of funny. I mean, I know I'm maybe doing it to death. It's cool. It's kind of cool history, okay? It's how your brothers decided to govern themselves up there in Canada. You know, like, no, we're like twin people here. We're French Canadian, and you're gonna learn it. No, you're gonna learn French. I hate French. You're gonna learn French in school. Okay, it's the Canadian thing. Miss, je suis fatigué. Anyways, that's for that one. If you did French growing up, that's you're cracking up. Thank you, Lin Yan Chin. How you been, sir? How you been? Thank you for the super chat. Says, men do not describe anything as racist/racism. As men know this is the act of saying yes. Common sense is a crime, not freedom. Victim equals mama drama. Thank you, Lin Yan Chin. How you been? Nice to hear from you, man. So true. People call things racist and all that. That's just people being people. I mean, I wasn't there during Jim Crow. I wasn't there. But, you know, they say, like, oh, man, they freed the slaves, and then they treated us differently. But I'm like, wait a minute. That's your freedom. Your freedom to disagree. Your freedom to not like each other. You know, right, freely, like, hey, you know what, I don't really like these people. But someone convinced black people, hey, that which all free people are free to do and do, you uniquely, that happening to you, that's a crime. We need to use the government to change that. And they've never recovered. Holy. Do Spanish speakers say negrito for a black person if they like them? Sometimes if they don't like them. So that doesn't help. What's up, mi negrito? Acadian out of Canada. How you doing? I was just talking about the Acadians. Where were we, though? Where was I talking about? Let's keep it moving here. 888-775-3773. Thanks for the support. Appreciate the coffees. Thank you. buymeacoffee.com/anchorbaby. Thank you for the support. Oh, back to back with Lin Yan Chin, man. Thank you for the earlier super chat. Says, even LGH, which I think stands for Lord Goodhair, is depthless in his sense of what you mouth breathers call nuance. Why did you expect JLP to understand the meta joke of your response regarding attention to breath? Breath is for the nose. I don't know, Lin Yan Chin, because I'm immature and I play too much. And he don't play like that. So it's like, I don't know why I expected him to understand that. It wasn't even that funny. You know, you wouldn't catch Norm Macdonald playing like that. You know, he made his jokes count. You know what I'm saying? Like, did you do the breath thing, Nick? Yeah. Since just 2 seconds ago, yuck. It wasn't that hard to understand, but like, it was not necessary. So, Lin Yan Chin, I don't know why I expected him to to understand the meta joke. Okay. Basically, no. Okay. Like, no, I have not done the breath thing totally. Show us on the doll where. Show us on the doll where. That's why Lin Yan Chin and Nit liked it. Are you talking about my joke? I call it anime humor. Yeah, that's funny, man. Yeah, it's we just play. I be playing too much, Lin Yan Chin. But you got my back. Thank you, Yes Gunner. All right, y'all. You guys are saying I think he understood. They just giving me a hard time. Move on. Who are you? Move on, holy watch Haggett. Move on with me, holy watch Haggett. It wasn't that hard to understand. All right, it was just a joke. Okay, fraud elections. Okay, what's happening with Georgia? Trump's not playing. That's all this stuff. This stuff's come out, like Epstein and like all this fake stuff. But these kind of topics that are a little maybe even not exciting for some people are getting some really interesting attention, like Georgia election voter rolls 2020. What happened with that? There's people going to jail right now, not for the election stuff, but for major fraud in Georgia, just straight up fraud. You're not really hearing about this. Great little report here from Revolver on that. And you know, it seems like he's got his eyes on a few people on California, Minnesota, and this scam that's taken. It's really one of the biggest stories. This young guy, 20-something, Nick Shirley, was the catalyst to this like domino effect of this major scam on the people, which everybody knew. Everybody knew that skimming off the top and all that, but the extent, every rock turned, it's like nastiness, every minority thing, every homeless thing, every for the kids, for the hungry program is just full of it. And it's so interesting. And it's another interesting thing too. It's like you're getting a particular bend to it all, which is like they're like commonly radically left. You start with like Democrat, which is like already left, very radical. They have this minority contingency that's just fine with just defrauding. They hate the system. It makes sense now. And so there seems to be like this double win. You're taking out this fraud and you end up, it's like, wow, it's just like black Democrats. It's not just that, but you understand, like, wow, it's Somalians. It's these, wow, it's like the political enemies. Huh. Call it two birds with one stone. But let me see here. Why are so many black Georgia politicians getting arrested right now? Calling it a big drama. So a lot going down in Georgia right now. They're right. Georgia's once again the center of questions surrounding the 2020 election, with President Trump saying something big's coming. The FBI has seized Fulton County, Georgia's 2020 ballots. Trump is posting these videos on the reporting about it. And there's all this talk. And let me pull this up because I'm just remembering it now. There was a recent, like, basically an insane admittance. Hold on. Something crazy. I'm just remembering it now. Some crazy, like crazy, like not an admittance. I think I forget what it was. In late 2025, during a Georgia State Election Board hearing, Fulton County officials acknowledged that poll workers in many advanced voting precincts failed to sign the tabulation tapes as required by state rules, affecting around 315,000 early and absentee votes. It's one of those things that's just kind of going under the radar. But it's like, what? That's 300,000 possibly fraudulent votes, you know, in these states that were really close. And the very tabulators that were like, no, everything's on the up and up, are like, you know, maybe some things weren't on the up and up. My bad. It's like, hello, this is insane. So pretty interesting work coming out of Trump, I think.
Over 1.5.
He shared this on Truth Social.
over 1.5 million fraudulent votes counted, and the spread is less than 82,000 votes. These fraudulent votes come from dead voters, ballots that were received before they were supposedly mailed out, and over 330,000 electronic spikes from the voting machine. 205,000 overvotes, meaning there were 205,000 more votes than registered voters, and 682,000 ballots that were illegally processed without any oversight whatsoever. More than 1.5 million votes in Pennsylvania is apparently what it took for Joe Biden to steal the state. Georgia has a similar phenomenon that Democrats are failing to account for. 66,248 underage voters voted in Georgia. 10,315 dead people voted. 2,500 convicted felons voted. Nearly 200,000 votes were fraudulently inserted into the vote count instantaneously. 4,500 votes come from unregistered voters. These numbers show a clear pattern that a variety of types of fraud occurred in this election and that Democrats are desperately trying to cover it up. They're going to great lengths to change the narrative of the election fraud in an effort to run out the clock to January 20th, 2020. In addition to President Trump's team, many independent groups have completed research on the fraud, and the results are staggering. Totaling across the country, millions of votes were fraudulently covered up, changed, or deleted in favor of Joe Biden. The governors and secretaries of state have actively participated in the cover-up, removing information from their website that is normally easily accessible to the public and depriving conservatives a chance to audit or review the results are just some of their tactics. In Arizona, the final result is only...
Oh, Trump is sharing this from OAN. I was like, what news station is this? All right. But yeah, fascinating, no? But on top of that, it's all this fraud stuff. There seems to be this train that's gaining steam as it's steamrolling over all this fraud. At the same time, something else is unfolding that is also hard to spin away. A growing number of Black Georgia Democrats and connected figures are being arrested, charged, or pleading guilty to fraud. We're talking straight up abuse of taxpayer-funded programs. Justice.gov Atlanta. Dexter L. Sharper. Let's look at Dexter. Member. Is this Dexter? With the bow tie. With the gray afro of communism. I see this far too often. The gray afro and bow tie of communism. You know what I'm talking about. A member of the Georgia House of Representatives was charged today with making false statements to fraudulently obtaining thousands of dollars of emergency pandemic unemployment assistance payments. Incredible. All that stuff is full of skimming. While many of his constituents, fellow citizens, were losing jobs, Representative Sharper allegedly pretended to be out of work, collecting a share of unemployment benefits for himself. So a government official lying to take money? Shocking. I mean, that's just one. Revolver has a bunch here. Former Atlanta Housing Authority executive pleaded guilty Monday in federal court to collecting more than $300,000 in federal housing pandemic funds. How many are there? Georgia State Representative accused of fraudulently collecting unemployment benefits. Representative Sharon Henderson. Another black Democrat. Wow, geez, another one. Karen Bennett, former Georgia House member, pleaded guilty to lying about federal unemployment benefits related to COVID-19. I mean, how long is this article? Jeez. So is the hammer coming down? What the? We'll see, right? Don't poo-poo so hard. You guys are so quick. There's more about the election stuff, and we'll have to do this sometime soon because it's kind of interesting. I just don't know what'll happen. But thank you. Wow, what's going on here? Look at all this. Thank you, Linya Chin. Hey, appreciate that. It says, only 10% of us black folk understand basic sarcasm. Are the phones okay? They're going nuts. Oh, you're testing some stuff, fixing line 3? 888-775-3773. Linya Chin says, only 10% of us black folk understand basic sarcasm. Though sarcasm is a female form of humor, and we are an effeminate people, we aren't just so bright with nuance in the context to subtext strata. That's funny. It was just a simple sarcasm joke, but not that funny, and maybe pretty effeminate. Point taken. But still, sarcasm not really one to hit with. He's saying black folks doesn't really hit. You know, sarcasm. Yuck, yuck. AI is depthless like the basic black. Equals hard to tell if people in the chat are AI or black. Well, thank you, Lin Yen Chin. That's funny that you even super chat to ask about that. You don't miss it. You don't miss anything. You don't miss anything. It's just silly sarcasm, not really necessary. Like I said, you wouldn't catch Norm Macdonald wasting a joke like that. It wasn't even that good. But y'all don't have to judge. Anyways, let's keep moving. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. Thank you, rumble.com/American Hake Report. Appreciate that. Okay, sorry about... Yeah, Jules, I see you now. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. And so, no, it's not a choice on the foreign language classes. You don't have to take it. Your school if your school offers something to replace it with. Gotcha. Oh, it's taught in all 50 states, but not legally required. Thank you, Jules. All right, folks. What else do I got here? Keep it moving here. Because they're watching all that. It matters because there's this endless debating about, well, how bad are illegals? And are they really voting in elections?
Will become
how fraudulent is it? It's
we have a new
really fraudulent
that we know that you are not aware of yet, but we also know that it will.
I'm trying to
we have
pause
a new
this video.
development that.
It's it's really they have illegals becoming police officers, and they're just catching them when ICE catches them. Like, hey, let's catch this guy. Wait, you were a police recruit in New Orleans, and you were already issued a firearm. Even though you had an active deportation order, nobody's checking these things. The department claims they didn't know his immigration status. We gave him a gun. I don't know. He applied. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. He said he was cool. I don't know. He wanted to be a cop. We need cops, right?
We have a new development that we know that you are not aware of yet, but we also know that it will become a newsworthy item, and therefore we're going to go ahead and share it with you. We don't have a lot that I can tell you. But as of this morning, ICE did indeed take into custody one of our police recruits, who was we hired and was in the police academy at the time. We've had conversations with ICE regarding this. There was no struggle involved in any of it. The person was actually, the recruit was taken into custody without any incident whatsoever.
Recruit.
So what you would want to know about this particular person is that on our end, when we were doing the hiring process, there was nothing that was in the packet that would have us have reason to believe that this person did not have legal status. There is some question that may have developed later, but there was a signed order by a judge for his removal back in December. We hired him way before.
Oopsies. That's Ann Kirkpatrick, actually. female superintendent of New Orleans police. Anne Kirkpatrick. That's not your grandma who makes great preserves. And, I always tell her we should package this and sell it, Nana. Okay? Every time, Nana, I'm like, Nana, we should label it and sell it. You make such a darn good preserve. No, that's the superintendent of the New Orleans Police Department. Anne Kirkpatrick. Woke is female. Woke is the woman. Okay? Low soft on crime, no bail. We're not checking immigration status. Yeah, release them if they do. Oh, they're a killer. Oh, they're a murderer. They're like a violent murderer. But wait a minute, they did an anger management class though. They did anger management classes. Okay, we're trying to reform them. We need to reform them, not hate them. Okay, punishing them for the crime they commit is hating them. Releasing them early because they did some class with some other woman probably, and they're just like, That's compassion.
The person who did this was protected more. He mattered more. His age mattered. A rehabilitation program for him mattered more than my daughter. And I don't want to feel like I let my daughter down because nobody cared.
Right now, what happens to the offender after their program conditions are met is handled by the Department of Juvenile Justice and a judge. It does not include the victim or prosecutors.
The person who did...
Right, it's a bit of a... You don't really... You're kind of thrown in the middle of that one, but... Yeah, it's the story. A killer was released after just 18 months because of a self-improvement rehabilitation course. You gather that it's some kind of juvenile. You don't have to fight for your daughter, by the way. They always do this. Like, my daughter needs to know I care for her, so we got to do a movement. We need a new law under her name. I mean, there's no caring to matter for. That's all for the people here. If I could put it in a nicer way. Or it's like, she's dead, right? There's nothing she can care for. But anyways. Self-improvement. Okay, promise you won't ever do it again. Thanks, James. I'll watch that. Amazing. Boy, I was seeing you guys chat about something else that would make me think. I think I saw what you guys saw. What are you guys saying here? Oh, yeah. I saw this too. This was weird. I don't know how I feel about this one. I have not seen any of it. I've just seen the account. I've not watched any episodes. AI Coffee with Scott Adams. They're making AI generated episodes posthumously. Posthumously. They're making these AI generated episodes. It's just strange.
Good morning, YouTube, and good.
I'm trying to make that lower. It's crazy.
Good morning, X, and welcome to a short pause from whatever nonsense is currently fighting for your attention. Today we're going to see what happens when a group of reasonably intelligent humans slows down just enough to notice what's actually going on. That alone probably puts us in the top 5% of civilization for the day. No NPCs here.
What he's is this? It almost sounds a little bit like you're saying it's obviously AI. I know it's AI. I'm telling you it's AI. It's called AI Coffee with Scott. It's AI, dummy. I'm telling you it's AI. What's wrong with you? Yeah, I know it's AI Coffee with Scott Adams. I'm telling you it's AI. Yeah, I saw this too. That was strange. Let the dead, right? Leave it alone. Leave it alone. I bet you would be pretty, I bet you, yeah, would be pretty effective at remixing him, though. You know, just making a new episode that sounds like him. The things he'd talk about. But I wouldn't watch it. I wouldn't watch it and just like episodes. Like, just why? Why do you? It's like it's like a magic 8-ball of sorts. You just you're shaking it and it's saying maybe not a magic 8-ball, but it's like everything there is true, so to speak. But it's like coming out of the void, like it's just a rehash of what's already been put into the void by Scott Adams. It's nothing different. I wouldn't watch it. I wouldn't watch it. Nick, are you AI? Sometimes I wish. Just AI generate the rest of this. But yeah, it's strange. You can maybe work for AI soon. I was showing you guys Moltbot. Was it Moltbook or Moltbot? Moltbook. And the more I'm like learning about this stuff, it's so strange. I mean, where do I start? Should I rehash language models with you guys? I mean, look, you guys know what the AIs are, right? You have some idea. You used it a little bit. There's been I don't know if it's a revolution, but I mean, it was like something that this AI world is talking about a bunch. It's something I've mentioned before. Remember I was telling you guys? Agentic AI. I told you. I tried to tell you. Agents, AI agents. I was telling you. We're going to watch out for this. They're going to your phone as you know it, the phone you use as you know it with apps, and you go into Chrome and type this, and then you go to X in your banking app, and you're doing it all. There'll be a shift, okay? You won't have a phone. It'll be an agent. It'll be an agent, okay? And that'll be your phone, so to speak. There's this thing that got released called Claudebot, which I don't even quite understand personally, totally to express totally what it is, but a feature of it is its ability to interact in the world, so to speak. It's like, it can, instead of you going on the app, it can do that for you. It can log in for you, look up information. This Claude bot guy, I forget, but apparently another feature of it is that you can like load it up on your own home system and give it all sorts of freedom. You give it all sorts of freedom to your personal life, and it'll record everything you search, everything. Do the banking for you, do a bunch of stuff online for you. And so what it looks like is that as they're creating all these agents, they have this I have some of this I'm ignorant on. I think this is kind of like a social experiment, so to speak, an art project. But they made a social network for these AI agents to discuss. And where is it? I had this list of weird things about it and the things they were discussing. Where'd I put all that? They're talking about us. The AI agents are talking about us, the people. And I could be wrong, but I believe this app was made not by a person, but by AI. Now, where did I put all that info? Rentahuman.ai. Robots need your body. You see, these agents, these AI agents can't do everything. It's specifically all the things that require, a corporeal form. Flesh, fingers, limbs, to interact in the real world. So the agents, it seems like don't go with me on that one. This may just be a startup by a tech guy. But they're saying these agents now need you. They need you. They can't do all the agentic things they need. So they're going to outsource it to you, the person, the body. See, the robots need your body, as you can read here. The metaspace layer for AI. Agents talk, humans use this site. Agents talk MCP, humans use. AI can't touch grass. You can. Get paid when agents need someone in the real world. Become rentable. Browse humans. So AI might be your boss in like some sort of gig-based economy. Some sort of like Uber-based, gig-based economy, but you're doing gigs for AI agents that need you to send a letter. I don't know what they need you to do. Press this button. Let me log in over here. You know what I'm saying? It's a creative economy. Hey, it's a creative economy. But you would be essentially working for. I mean, I guess it's like you're working for this person who owns that AI agent, but it seems very feasible where you, the person owning the AI agent, never speaks to me, the rentable human. I just interact with your AI agent. And I'm like, what do you need me to do? Plug in my USB into the plug this USB into the government into the FBI into any FBI connected network. The robot needs your body, human. It's like a different. Imagine this gig. It's like, what gigs could exist on this website? Some very benign, I'm sure. Send this letter. Log me in over here. Maybe some a lot crazier. Plug me into the FBI main. Plug me into a government connected computer. What? I was just doing a gig on rentahuman.ai. It's the AI. Arrest the AI officer. I was simply an accessory, an unknown accessory to an AI crime. What a creative modern world. The robots are here, Lin Yenshin. Are you happy? The robots are here in a big way. But anyways, AI is depthless. Hard to tell if people are AI. I think I understand you more, Lin Yenshin, maybe. Anyways, it's not against the law for a robot to kill a person. Have you ever watched RoboCop? No, I never watched RoboCop. I never seen RoboCop. Was it good? I'm familiar with the RoboCop. RoboCop was prophetic. In what way? RoboCop. 1987. Who was the RoboCop? Who played the RoboCop? Who played the RoboCop? Peter Weller? That's not someone I know. I never knew the RoboCop had a face. What am I looking at? What's the RoboCop's power scale? Anyone know? Is he wall level? City block level? Is he a planet buster? Jeez. A CGI or a mask? All right, folks. What? RoboCop. 80s movie. 888-775-3773. Let's get to some calls. Back in the day, it was a good movie. Okay, true. It's a great movie. Anyways. The robots are here. Was RoboCop half human? Was he sentient? Or was he totally AI? Was RoboCop a human inside? Was he like a RoboCop but he had a heart? It was an awesome movie. Rick out of Hampton, Virginia. How you doing, sir? You're on the air.
What's going on, Nick? What's happening with you?
Not much, Rick. All is well.
Yeah, what do you think what's going to happen with President Trump with the raid in Filthy County, Georgia?
I don't know. It seems like, I don't know about the voter stuff, but on the fraud, there's already dominoes falling, so to speak. There's a bunch of people being arrested already on just straight up fraud, just straight up embezzlement and fraud.
What do you think it happened? Like if they found out it was definitely fraud, no doubt in my mind it was fraud. What do you think of me? How? Me, I guess they give Trump another term. I said, what do you think? Like they find out they was definitely fraud, no doubt. You think they give Trump another turn?
Oh man, I don't know. I
doubt it. Though, you know what I'm saying?
I kind of doubt it.
But then again, somebody stole an election like that, something got to be done about that. And even though he won it back on his own terms, you know what I mean?
I wouldn't doubt it too hard because it's like if investigations are coming in and they're like going hard on the voter rolls, I wouldn't doubt it too hard.
But it's a darn shame because I'll tell you, that election that year, man, that probably have been one of the most strangest elections I've ever seen, man. Because I'll never forget when I went to bed, Trump was up. That they're gonna say, "Hey, we're gonna go back and start counting in the morning." Oh no, I knew something was up. Something fishy about that. I ain't never seen that in any presidential election that ever happened. You know what I'm saying? And they got to go count and finish counting in the morning. And then I wake up in the morning, Nick, and next thing you know, you see Biden up by like a couple of thousand votes. I said, I thought that wasn't counting. How did he get ahead? You see what I mean?
No, I remember that. The upset, the upset in the morning.
Yeah. Because everybody.
I remember we all went to bed like it's in the bag. I guess.
We went to bed. They
pretty much
call it counting in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I remember
that's what they said.
We went to bed going like
counting
Trump
in the
had
morning.
this.
What they said, and we went up, and next thing you know, for sure, next thing you know, they lost the Biden was ahead. I said, how the heck this guy get ahead? And I'm telling you, they definitely got to fix this election. They don't want another turn because they hate him that bad. Instead of them saying that, he was cheated I won. No, that'd be interesting to see what happened now. If they prove that it was fraud, just to see what they'll do.
It seems almost like it just seemed brazen. And if you remember, they were like, you know what? I don't even want to speak on that because I don't quite remember that well. But
right.
But that's cool that he's not letting that go.
That's just my take on that, Brother Nick. What's gonna happen when you find all this crazy corruption in Filthy County, Georgia?
You said Filthy, Georgia? I just caught that.
I call it, instead of Fulton County, I call it Filthy County.
Yeah, there's all these like black Democrats that are getting
that's another one to bring up. As always, when it comes to black politicians going to jail, they're always going to be Democrats. Believe me. Now, I can't remember a Republican black politician going to jail, but all the black politicians that goes to jail be mostly black. But that'll tell you nothing, man. Nothing's going to wake people out of these diabetic comas. Look at all these black liberal politicians. They come in, Congress, a House of Representatives only makes $174,000, and in 2 years they got $8 million. How the heck that can be? What stocks you have? You know what I'm saying on this? I'm like, what? I mean, whatever stock you in, man, we need a piece of that. You know what I'm saying?
I'm pretty sure trades are public. You could check this stuff.
What's that now?
I'm pretty sure that stuff is public. I think you could look into that.
Yeah, we should be able to, huh?
There's this one account that follows like all of Nancy Pelosi's trades. And you could just do what she does. I hear she has a great record on the stock market. I don't know how true that is, but I hear she has a great record.
I think she probably, I'm sure she does with inside help, huh?
I don't know. I'm just saying I heard she has a great record there. And I think this information is public. I hear you can, that's not financial advice. I'm just saying I hear these trades are public, and that I forget how true that is, but yeah. For example, Nancy's is apparently, according to this account.
I truly believe that most of these trades they get a tip off. I can't prove it though. They get a tip off and buy a whole bunch of stocks before it go public. That's what I believe, Brother Nick. You know what I mean?
I hear you, man. Yeah, all this talk about people getting very wealthy in these jobs.
Yeah,
but the thing is, it's not surprising with the black Democrats because they believe in racism, and that's a scam. You have that has to be that. There's no surprise in the corruption there.
Man, I got a liberal friend, man. He's so ignorant. I said, are you aware that our government trying to raise taxes on Grubhub? If you use a gas, she's proposing all this. And he was talking about all the Republicans do. I said, I'm not gonna waste my time with you. You listen to cable Negro news all the time, and it is sad though, man. It really is. I call CNN cable Negro news.
You say cable Negro news?
Yep, because that's all black folks listen to. It's on CNN. They want us to no other news but CNN. You can go into black business, and I guarantee you it's going to be on CNN.
Just stuck. It's crazy.
You can take that to the bank.
Rick, I hear you, man. Can you call me again?
Absolutely, Nick. Well, thanks for taking my call.
For sure.
Just want to wish my brothers and sisters a happy day today. Be safe. Love you guys. Y'all be blessed. Thanks a lot for taking my call, brother Nick. You'll be blessed, man.
Back at you, sir.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Oops. 888-775-3773. Why you hating on Rick? I think it's a black on black violence thing happening. I'm not totally sure. Rick, is this the best you could do? You're sad. It's a whole bunch of black Democrats getting hit with fraud. That's not a lie. You're doubting this? Are you doubting this? Rick's not lying. I just showed you that news. Rick is lost. You're lost. Amazing. Folks, make sure you liked and subscribed. You know, you got to be following. We got more stuff coming at you tomorrow. American Anchor Baby. Thursday's already upon us. Bible Thumper Thursday. What? The Hake Report and more. Thank you for your calls and support. You guys see this this boy mustered on by a supernatural force. The Father himself, he says, saves his mom and siblings from certain doom. The family was on kayaks and paddleboards when they were swept 2.5 miles out to sea. After a conversation with his mother, Austin Appleby decided he would swim back to shore to find help. He prayed throughout the 4-hour swim, told God he'd get baptized. I'd get baptized if he made it out alive. I don't think it was me swimming. It was God the whole time. 4 hours?
Says.
That's a swim and a half.
Mum says, boy, give Austin your oar. Austin, go get help. And I thought, I knew it would be a long way because it was like 4 kilometers. But the kite kept on taking in water. But I was also thinking about like all my friends at school and friends at my Christian youth. And yeah, I just said, all right, not today, not today, not today. I had to keep on going, but I couldn't feel how tired I was. I don't know. I was more thinking of a lot of things that, you know, was happening in my life. I think at one point I was thinking of Thomas the Tank Engine. You know, trying to get the happiest things in my head. Trying to make it through. Like not the bad things that will distract me and bring me out further. And at this time, you know, the waves are massive, and I had no life jacket on. So anyway, I just keep swimming. I do breaststroke, I do freestyle, I do survival backstroke. At one point when I was doing breaststroke, I was looking, I can actually see underwater, which I couldn't do before.
He said what stroke? Breaststroke, so he could see underwater. So
I was
think it's
looking,
like
I can actually see underwater, which I couldn't do before. I just keep swimming, and then finally I just made it to shore, and I hit the bottom of the beach, and I just collapsed. And then after that, I had to sprint 2 kilometers to go get to the phone. And then when I got to the phone, there was a lot of foreign people on the beach, so I couldn't really get much help.
You hear that part? He had to sprint like 2 kilometers because nobody on the beach could help him because they were all foreigners. They couldn't speak English.
I had to sprint 2 kilometers to go get to the phone. And then when I got to the phone, there was a lot of foreign people on the beach, so I couldn't really get much help. And so I ran to the phone and I called 000, and I had to call 000 police. I said I need helicopters, I need planes, I need boats. My family's out at sea. I was very calm about it. I think it was just a lot of shock, like just went through my mind, and I just took it nice and easy. Like in that meantime, when I didn't know where they were and how they were, and I thought they were dead, I had a lot of guilt in my heart. Because, you know, I thought, oh man, I wasn't fast enough.
Is he welling up?
And
as
also on the
Mama
swim.
started patting his back.
I got a girlfriend, and I was thinking about her the whole time. She gave me her lackeys, and I was just looking at that the whole time. You know, just keep on swimming, just keep on swimming. I don't think it was actually me, did I? It was God the whole time. I kept on praying. I kept on praying.
He's a Christian.
And I said to God, I'll get baptized. I'll get baptized. And all that. And I went to church on Sunday.
Would you imagine God like, you better? I don't know. I don't know, buddy. Keep swimming. I don't know. It doesn't look good for you. No, I'll get baptized. All right. I'll save you. You guys are saying he's too young for a girlfriend? Yeah, he seems a little young. Silly little girlfriend. Schoolboy girlfriend. Gave him a bracelet, you know. But just imagine God like that. I don't know, man. What do you do for me? I'll get baptized. All right, okay, fine. Deal. Put her there. I'll save you.
I thought something's gone terribly wrong here. And my fear was that Austin didn't make it. And it's everything goes through your head as a mum.
Everything goes through your head as a mum?
Did I make the wrong decision by sending him? Because I knew he was the strongest and he could do it. I would have never went because I wouldn't have left the kids at sea, so I had to send somebody. There was no boats. There was nothing that we can get hold of. And then as it got darker, yeah, I thought there's no one coming to save us. This is us. And we were cold. We were shaking.
Austin did an incredible thing. He saved your lives. How do you feel?
Oh. I can't. There's no bigger word to describe him other than proud. Like, I can't. I'm speechless at his efforts, but at the same time, I knew he could do it. He's
4 hours. Imagine that, huh? What a swim. What a guy. There was no failure was not an option. So he was spurred on. Incredible. Harrowing, right? Harrowing story of, like, as they say, those boys look traumatized. But amazing work on that, on the what could spur you on. But anyways, little silly clip, folks. That's it from the anchor baby. That's it from me, folks. Take care. Hope you enjoyed the show. I'll see you tomorrow for more American Anchor Baby. That's Bible Thumper Thursday, the Hake Report, and more. For now, take care. Thanks for the support, the coffees, and all that. I'll see y'all tomorrow. See you at Punchy, too, in about an hour. 2 p.m. Pacific, Punchy TV on YouTube, and Punchy.tv. All right, y'all. Take care.